Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. For the demo teaching today, the topic will be on metacognitive approach in teaching using farm animal units. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. We will be posting the Zoom link in the comment section before our demo teaching, and the first 10 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session, have an open forum after the demo teaching, and get a copy of the presentation used today. The first 10 participants will serve as the
Good day,
students for the
Kavibal, and
speaker's demo
welcome to
reel.
our Speakers
For those
Demo
who will
Reel
be
webinar
chosen, make
series.
sure your
For the demo
microphones are
teaching
turned off
today, the
until
topic
asked to
will be
turn
on
on.
metacognitive approach in teaching using farm animal units. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. We will be posting the Zoom link in the comment section before our demo teaching, and the first 10 participants to join the Zoom
Do
meeting
you
will be
enjoy
allowed to
learning
have
with
close
Vival?
interaction with the speaker during
Make
the
your
session,
experience even
have
more
an open
exciting
forum
by
after the
becoming a
demo
Vival
teaching,
Group
and get
fan.
a copy of the
Exclusive
presentation
perks
used
await past
today. The
subscribers.
first 10
Get
participants will serve
access
as
to
the Good day,
exclusive
students
Kavibal,
for the
and
webinars.
speaker's
welcome to
demo
our
reel.
speakers
Enjoy
demo
For
reel.
those
demo
who will be
teaching
chosen,
resources.
make sure your
For the demo
microphones
Check
are
out
turned
teaching
off
exclusive
until
content.
until
asked
asked
to
to
turn
turn
on.
on.
Get
Metacognitive
discounts on
approach
Vival
in
products.
teaching using farm
All of
animal
these for only
units.
55
Before we
pesos a month.
begin, take note
Exciting, right? Subscribe as a fan now. Here's
before
how.
our demo
Visit,
teaching,
click,
and the
follow.
first 10 participants to
First,
join the Zoom
visit
meeting
Vival Do you
will be
enjoy
allowed to
learning
have
with
close
Vival?
interaction with the speaker during
Then
the
make
session,
experience even
have
more
an open
exciting
forum
by
after the
becoming a
demo
Vival
teaching,
Group
and get
fan.
a copy of the
Plus, exclusive
presentation
perks
used
await
today.
past
The
subscribers.
first 10 participants
Get
will serve
access
as
to
the
Good day,
students
exclusive
for the
Kavibal,
webinars.
and
speaker's demo
welcome to
reel.
our
Enjoy
For
speakers
those
demo
who
demo
will be
reel.
teaching
chosen,
resources.
make sure your
For the demo
microphones
Check
are
out
teaching
turned
today
off
exclusive
until
until
content.
asked
asked
to
to
turn
turn
Talk to
on.
on.
fans. Get
Metacognitive
knock-ons.
approach
It's
in
for the
teaching
win. You
using
need to
farm
follow all of
animal
these for only
units.
55
Before we
pesos a month.
begin, take
Visit,
note
exciting, right? Click, subscribe as a fan now. Here's
before
how.
our demo
Visit,
teaching,
click,
and the
follow. Be a
first
Vival
10
Group fan and
participants
enjoy
to join the
exciting
Zoom
perks
meeting
today. Do you
will be
enjoy
allowed to
learning
have
with
close
Vival?
interaction with the speaker during
Then
the
make
session,
experience even
have
more
an open
exciting
forum
by
after the
becoming a
demo
Vival
teaching,
Group
and get
fan.
a copy of the
Plus, exclusive
presentation
perks
used
await past
today.
subscribers.
The first 10 participants
Get
will serve
access
as the students for the speaker's demo reel. For those who will be chosen, make sure your microphones are turned off until asked to turn on. Metacognitive approach in teaching using farm animal units. Before we begin,
Right?
take
Click,
note of the following reminders.
subscribe as a fan now. Here's
Before
how.
our demo
Visit,
teaching,
click,
and the
follow. Be a
first
Vival
10
Group fan and
participants
enjoy
to join the
exciting
Zoom
perks
meeting
today. Do you
will be
enjoy
allowed to
learning
have
with
close
Vival?
interaction with the speaker
Then
during
make
the session,
experience even
have
more
an open
exciting
forum
by
after the
becoming a
demo
Vival
teaching,
Group
and get
fan.
a copy of the
Plus, exclusive
presentation
perks
used
await
today.
past
The
subscribers.
first 10
Get
participants will serve
access
as the students for the speaker's demo reel. For those who will be chosen, make sure your microphones are turned off until asked to turn on. Metacognitive approach in teaching using farm animal units. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. We will be posting the Zoom link in the comment section before our demo teaching, and the first 10 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session, have an open forum after the demo teaching, and get a copy of the presentation used today. The first 10 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session, have an open forum after the demo teaching, and get a copy of the presentation used today. The first 10 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session, have an open forum
Good day
after the
again,
demo teaching,
Kavibal, and
and get
welcome
a
to our
copy of the
Speakers Demo
presentation
Reel
used
webinar
today.
series. For the discussion today, the topic will be on metacognitive approach in teaching using farm animal units. Before we begin, please be reminded that our Zoom link for this demo teaching is already in our comment section. Also, make sure that you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions on the comment box allotted during the session, and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, ka-Vibal? And now, to proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Teacher Margot Palencia is a SPED teacher and advocate for 20 years. She finished her psychology degree from the Philippine Normal University. She obtained her postgraduate course in Master in Arts major in Special Education from the De La Salle University, Manila. She also obtained her second postgraduate course in Masters in Education, major in School Administration from RTSIMI. She completed her doctorate degree in education from the RTSIMI. Currently, she is the school principal of a progressive education preschool, Kids Coco in Ortigas. She is the executive director of Academic Training and Learning Center in Quezon City. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Dr. Marie Margot Ann Palencia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss Jillian. Good afternoon, mga kabebal, mga ka-teach. Isang magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and we will have a very interesting and fun experience of how to use metacognitive approaches in teaching using farm animals, which is very, very common but very useful for us teachers, whether you are teaching in preschool or in special education. Okay, so am I going to start my share? Am I going to share my screen now? Hello? Okay. So do we have any participants already? So while I'm waiting, I just want to know if you could hear me well. So please type one, just for us to know if you could hear me well. And if you could see my screen also. So for today's demo reel, I will be discussing with you metacognitive strategies in teaching using animal or farm animals or animal farm units. This is very common, but we can teach this lesson in different kinds of strategy, in different kinds of strategies. I know that this is very familiar to all of you teachers, but we can use this in many types of lesson implementation. Last time I have shared something quite similar to this, but this time we're going to do it in another way. And I'm going to share with you the things that you have to prepare if you want to change it, because with the description of this webinar, you will see that we can use these strategies or these topics in teaching kids who might be developmentally delayed or might be experiencing learning disabilities. So before that, just to give you a background sa mga ngayon lang po dumating. So I'm Teacher Margot. I'm in the field of education for 20 years now, and I'm a school principal for almost a decade. And as an educator, I believe in the works of John Dewey, who is a progressivist, Eric Erickson, and Lev Vygotsky. I know that you're very familiar with these people, and I'm an advocate of inclusive education for the differently abled student because I'm a SPED teacher, and I believe that they will benefit the most when they are placed in the least restrictive environment. And on the lighter side, I love dogs. So disclaimer, you might hear my furry babies um, barking in the middle of the demo. And I love 80s music, and I like to binge watch if my time permits. So let's go. So the objectives for today is define and discuss first metacognition and its implication to learning. Most of us, when we hear the word metacognition, it seems like it's so highfalutin. It's like this is this is like not for preschoolers, but metacognition is, very simple if we are just going to use it like in terms of what is really the role of prior knowledge in the learning of a child. We will focus on that. And then we will also define and characterize learning disability, because most of us, especially in this time that we are already practicing inclusive education, and when you are still using farm animals as your lessons, it means that you are still in the primary level, which means you might be in kindergarten, nursery, kinder 2, grade 1, up to grade 3. So this is also the time in the lives of the children wherein you can see, or you can spot if there are really some significant delays, or in special education we call it child find. Even in the DepEd memorandum for inclusive education, there's also this thing called child find, and that's how we call the children who are um, who are at risk or might be having some significant difficulties. And of course, I would be presenting a lesson about animal farms, and how are we going to use this to um, encourage metacognitive strategies for the children. And later on, if you have questions, you just type it in our chat box or comment section. Okay, so first, let us uh, let us define first what is metacognition. So this refers to higher order thinking, which involves active control of the cognitive process, which means that every one of us as a teacher, we should be going, or we are aiming for higher order thinking skills. We always listen, we always hear about HOTS and LOTS, if you're familiar, like lower order thinking skills. What are this? These are the the stages where you just memorize, you just remember it. But when you can comprehend, when you can use critical thinking, when you can apply, when you can evaluate the things that you are reading or the things that you are watching, then this is higher order thinking skills. And then when you can create something out of that learning, and you were able to apply it and create a new one, that is the higher order thinking skills. If you will remember your Bloom's taxonomy, what is the highest form of thinking? It's like you can already create your own. It doesn't only um, leave us to memorization and remembering. So what is the implication of this to us when we are dealing with preschoolers or children with learning disabilities, or children from grades 1 to 3? What is the implication? That we have to somehow present our lessons to the children, which can activate their prior knowledge, in which they can relate. Mas madali po kapag yung ating mga bata nakaka-relate dun sa tinuturo natin. And this is what metacognition is asking us to do. No? So activities such as planning. So when you want to do metacognitive approaches, you have to plan, what approach is going to be done in a given task. Monitoring, there should always be planning, there should always be monitoring and evaluating of the process towards the completion of the task. Well, in everything that we do, we always have to evaluate, we always have to monitor. But here in when we use holistic approaches for children, or when we basically, metacognition is applying what they are learning in school in the everyday lives. And I think that's very important. The functionality is very important. So if you want to push for functionality, we can uh, inject, or we can blend some metacognitive strategies to our teaching. So I hope I'm making this clear to you now. But later on, you will be able, maybe you will be able to grasp some more of what I'm talking about. All right. So next is, what are the basic metacognitive strategies? First is, as I've said a while ago, it's connecting new information to former knowledge, most especially teachers. If we have children who are having difficulties in reading, in mathematics, in writing, you know, learning disabilities comes in different forms. So for them not to be able to have a hard time, what we can do is, when you plan, you have to connect new information to former knowledge, and that's what we call activating the prior knowledge. It's the same thing. Why am I explaining this to you first instead of just doing my demo right away? I have to explain to you, what are we going to use today. It's like unlocking your vocabularies, or at least awakening the things, or activating the things that you know already about metacognitive strategies, which you might be forgetting, or it's just in your data bank. So when you want to do basic metacognitive strategies, the first one is, whatever you're going to teach the children, you have to connect it to their former knowledge. So don't give them something that they don't have an idea at all. Or don't give them something that they know so much about. Otherwise, your class will not be successful. Okay? And then select what kind of thinking strategies deliberately. Like, what do you really want to improve to these children? You have to very precise on what do you want these children to learn. And then you have to plan, monitor, and evaluate the thinking process. And how are we going to do that? If they are reaching critical thinking skills. No? Maybe the term critical thinking is too much for um, younger children, but no, there are also skills in reading that they should be acquiring, even they are still in the young stage or early stage. For example, um, how can you teach the children finding the big idea, which is like the main idea? So you have to plan, how are you going to teach it to them, and at the same time, how are you going to know, and how are you going to find out if they have understood what you're discussing with them. So basically, when you plan to teach children with, because we're talking about children with learning disabilities here, or if they are not yet diagnosed or identified to have learning disabilities, they might fall on the category of developmental delays. So what are you going to do with these children? Because when you say developmental delays, this is like all of the developmental domains are basically delayed, like 3 to 4 of it are delayed. So what are you going to do? We have to do something about it. No? Sabi ko nga po, kailangan pa rin natin silang turuan. Pero ngayon, ang usapan or ang tanong is, how are we going to teach them? Okay, so I hope the basic concept of metacognitive strategies are clear to you. Okay, now let's talk about what is learning disability, because this is what this topic is all about. Why do we need to use metacognitive strategies with these people or with these children? So learning disability, you might be hearing this most of the time or all the time. And for your information, when you are teaching in the elementary, or you are um, teaching in the general education setting, there is really a big possibility that you might be having a child who is in the inclusive program, who might be experiencing or having learning disability. But nowadays, it's called specific learning disabilities. So what is this all about? So it's a disorder. So it's not a disability, it's a disorder. It means that there are just things, or there are just some actions, or there are some lessons in terms of presentation that we can use so that they will understand things better. For example, here it says here that it's a disorder that interferes with the receiving of information. Sometimes it's about the receiving, like um, receptive language. Sometimes it's about classifying. Sometimes it's sorting. Sometimes it's storing. Sometimes it's even retrieving. They know it already, but it's so hard for them to retrieve. And sometimes they know everything, but there's also a problem in expressing the information. So all of this could be part of a learning disability. All right. And then, but there are times, there are lessons in our lives that we will find difficulties. Like maybe some of you out there will tell me, teacher, I really have learning disability in mathematics. Well, of course, everybody has their Waterloos, but when we speak of learning disabilities, it means that it is already affecting the educational performance of the child in that particular area. Okay, so for example, you can only say that you have a learning disability in mathematics if it's already interfering with your grades, and it's really like you cannot get all the concept, not only one concept, then you might be at risk of learning disabilities. It's something like that. So significant difficulties, it is also characterized by significant difficulties in the basic acquisition of skills in reading, sometimes it's written language or mathematics. And it's a dysfunction in the way the student process and retains information, because this is different from the intellectual disability or the what is formerly known as mental retardation before, mga ka-teach, no? Ang intellectual disability po kasi, it's a disability wherein kahit anong gawin natin, the intellectual capacity or the IQ of the child is below 70. So there's nothing we can do about it. We can only train them. We can just do lessons for them that will help prepare them in the future. Unlike with learning disability, there are just some parts of it, or let's say they even say it's a sea, with it's a weakness within a sea of strength. Like they have above average, or even they have average to above average IQ, but meron lang nagkakaproblemang isa. Parang halimbawa sa wiring, okay naman yung wirings mo eh. May isa lang talagang wire na medyo dun nagkakaproblema. So hindi na to transport yung information, o halimbawa sa mga gadgets, hindi na to transport yung kuryente, mga ganun po ba? Parang ganun yung explanation niya. Okay? And then significant difficulties in remembering basic that have been taught over and over. So if you have some students who are like that, you keep on teaching them, and then they will remember and then they will forget, maybe they are at risk of learning disability. But again, you can only say that they are at risk if their educational performance is already being affected. Ibig sabihin po, nagde-deteriorate na, parang bumabagsak na, hindi na talaga kinakaya, then that's the time po na masasabi natin na meron tayong candidate for learning disability. Alright? Okay. So, next is last slide for this overview or background of what we're going to talk about, and the types of specific learning disabilities. So before, it was only learning disability, but of course with the evolution and the different studies made, meron na po tayong mga types of specific learning disabilities ngayon, and these are the most common that we see in the school, especially po kung kayo ay gen ed teacher. One is dyslexia, the problem with reading. Dysgraphia is the problem with written language. Dyscalculia is about the problem with mathematics, no? Pwede natin sabihin, meron kaming meron akong dyscalculia. Yan ang biruan namin eh. So, naku, huwag niyo akong pagtuturuin ng mathematics kasi meron akong dyscalculia, no? So, and then we have also dyspraxia, which is yung hindi naman po coordinated yung ating mga muscles. Halimbawa, hindi natin na kumbaga parang nagkakaroon ng problema yung coordination. So, ang lawak pala ng specific learning disability, no? And this can all affect learning. So, kapag po naaapektuhan na ng mga bagay na ito, o ng mga aspect na ito ang ating pag-aaral o yung grades ng ating mga bata, yan po, then we have a child find. So that's how we call it, mga ka-teacher, mga kababal, a child find. Huwag niyo pong tawagin silang may something, mga ganun, kasi hindi po yun yung tamang term. Alright. Okay, so how? How can we use the animal farm units for teaching with LD? So let me ask, do I have students already po, Miss G? Meron na ba? Hi students, do I have
Yes
students already?
po.
How
You
many
have a
students do
lot of
I have?
students po. You have
Oh,
15.
wow, I have 15 students. Wow. Hello, students. Okay, before I say hello to all of you, for those who are watching, let me just discuss with you first what are the things that you're going to see in my demo reel, or what are the things that I have prepared para po maano nyo naman. Pero I believe na ibibigyan din naman po yata yan ng copy kayo nito. So, sabi ko dito sa question ko, how can we use the animal farm units in teaching? So first, there are things, of course, when you're a teacher, you have to prepare. I think teachers, that's the basic. When you want to have a successful class, you always have to prepare. Ako nga na-enjoy ako kasi dahil wala pong masyado naman talagang, 'di ba ngayon, yung interaction talaga with the children, lalo na sa preschool. Natutuwa ako when I'm preparing this lesson kasi feeling ko nasa preschool ulit ako. So yung mga student ko po dyan, mag-act kayong preschool para hindi po masayang tong effort ko. Okay, so for the teachers out there and for the students that I have in the house, so these are the things that you have to prepare. So, kapag po gagamit kayo ng metacognitive approach, dapat po holistic yung inyong gagawing approach. Ibig sabihin, una, you have to find a topic which is relevant. At the same time, your children can relate. Yun kasi minsan po, kaya nahirapan din tayong mag-ano sa mga bata, magturo sa mga bata kasi po hindi po sila nakaka-relate sa tinuturo natin. So, ibagay din po natin kung ano yung ituturo natin sa kanila. So, I was given the topic of farm animals, which is very useful, no? Kung natatandaan nyo, yung old MacDonald na nursery rhyme, you can really, do so much about it. But today, we're not gonna do old MacDonald's. So, what are the things that you need to prepare? So take note of this, mga ka-teach. One is a story on animal farms. So, farm animals, I'm sorry. So, any story, you can find a story in the books. For sure, the books that we have in Vibal have a lot of stories about farm animals. So we can use that. So just but of course, what do you need to consider? You have to consider the developmental age of your readers. For example, there are stories about farm animals, but again, you have to consider the developmental age. Can they really read? Are they starting? So, do you need a lot of words like that? And then, what is your, again, I've said a while ago, you have to plan. What is your plan of discussing farm animals? Do you want to teach? Uh, do you want to teach reading? Do you want to teach math? So you have to plan. You still have to make your lesson plan, okay? And then the next one, you have to have a song for springboard. Well, you can have a lot of springboard activities, but for me, singing and dancing is the easiest form of springboard, and it's very easy to find songs. But when you want to prepare for this one, make sure that your song is related to the story. So if our story is about farm animals, then you have to have a song that is related to your story, which means that there is about farm animals. Okay. Next, you prepare your keywords, list of significant words in the story which you will use for unlocking your vocabulary. So we are talking about what are the activity sheets that you have to prepare, something like that. No, so you have to have your keywords, because my lesson for today will tackle about reading, will tackle about language, will tackle about mathematics, because and then you can put some phonics in it, you can even put some arts in it. It's up to you, but I'm just going to show you a picture of how we do it in our school. And then the next one are keywords. So remember, these are list of significant words in the story. So everything in here should be from the story. Okay, and then the next one is functional key sentences. This is for language development. And I've learned over time that when you want to teach children language, you have to use for key sentences the things that they can use right away. This is called whole language approach. It's like it could be task based, it could be episode based, but it means that these are sentences that they can use right away. Why do we have to do this? Because we're talking about children with learning disabilities. The things should be used right away. Kasi po, pag hindi, makakalimutan na naman nila yon. Di ba po, sabi ko nga kanina, they even have problems of retrieving it from their data banks, the stored information. They even have problems of expressing it. So you have to use it right away. Teachers, kahit po 3, 4 lang yan, basta po totoo na natututunan nila yon at magagamit po nila yon sa pang-araw-araw nila na buhay. I mean, it's like this. It's the analogy is like this. For example, you are trying to learn French, and you have all the materials. You're even listening, or you have audiobooks for French, but you don't have anyone to talk with or to talk to na French din. Hindi po siya magiging functional. That's the analogy of it. Okay, and then you have to prepare for writing modules of the keywords. So whatever keywords or the vocabularies that you are going to teach them, dun na rin po ang gamitin ninyong keywords ninyo for writing para connected. Kasi po, the problem sometimes with children with learning disabilities is nahihirapan po silang maging coherent yung inaaral nila. Ko ba inaaral tong math na to? Pagdating sa writing, iba na naman yung inaaral ko. Pagdating sa ganito, so nahihirapan, lalo silang nalilito. May problema na nga po tayo sa wirings eh, 'di ba? Parang how to connect this one to this one. Tapos iniba-iba pa natin. Yan. And then you can also have your counting modules. You can have your phonics bank. Kasi I know that every school has a different way of teaching phonics. For example, when we are using the reading books of Vibal, then they already have a suggested sequence of teaching phonics there. You can follow that. Okay, and then prepare some educational games. This is more of, because at this time it's the new normal and we have to get the attention of the children, so prepare some educational games. All right, so those are the things that you have to prepare when you want to do this kind of approach. All right, so I hope you get it. Okay, hello children. Hello my dear students, are you there?
Hello po.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Hello mga anak. Okay, good afternoon children. Are you ready?
Yes po.
Teacher Nancy, ikaw ba yan?
Opo.
Hello, Teacher Nancy. It's nice to have someone whom I know very much. Thank you. Ayan. All right. So for today, we're gonna do our, okay, so kunwari talaga. Mag-start na tayo. Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon po.
Okay, my class is so parang napakalalayo, no? Meron tayo from Nueva Vizcaya. Kamusta kayo dyan? Alam ko, naka-lockdown din kayo. So, let's start. So, normally, I would start, children, because this is my favorite part. So, I would always start with the springboard, and I know you know that, with a song. Wait lang, ha? Wala. Ayun. Okay. So, I will sing first. Ikakanta na lang si Teacher Margo. Baka dumami na naman yung fans ko sa pagkanta ko. Kalma lang po kayo. Ako lang to. Alright. So, today, we're gonna sing a song about some animals. So, I want you to listen to teacher first. So, like what I've said a while ago, choose a song that's related to your topic. And as you can see, my song is about cow, horse, dog, duck, mouse, cat. And you can add all the other animals here as long. So are you children, are you ready to listen to teacher?
Yes po.
Yes,
Okay, so I
ma'am.
will sing a song. I will sing the first part and then we will all sing together. So you have to listen to me very carefully. But before that, let us read the lyrics of the song. So repeat after teacher. The cow says hello.
The cow
The
says
cow says hello.
Moo, moo, moo.
moo, moo.
The horse says hello, neigh, neigh.
The horse says hello, neigh,
Says
neigh.
Neigh. Okay.
me.
The dog says hello, bow, wow, wow.
The dog says hello,
Says
bow wow wow.
wow, wow, wow.
And we say hello, hi, hi, hi.
And we say
And we
hello,
say hello, hi,
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 hi.
hi.
Meron ako ditong mga very bright students. Okay, so kapag po ginawa niyo to, halimbawa naka-zoom kayo with the students, they can turn on their videos, tapos po they can say hello to everyone. Ganyan. Okay, so I will sing to you the first part, listen to me, and then we're gonna repeat it again. Nako, ito na naman. Kakanta na naman si Teacher Margo. Okay. Ay, gumana. Ayan na siya. Wait lang po. Ina-touch ko yung music nito eh. Ay, ayaw. Sorry po. Wait lang.
Abot mo yung cellphone ko.
Wag na nga. Ala, sorry po. Mag-screen ako. Mag-share ulit ako ng screen. Ayan yung nangyari. Sorry. May technical glitch po tayo. Okay, children, don't push one another. Okay, so ayaw niya. Ayan. The cow says hello, moo, moo, moo. The horse says hello, neigh, neigh. The dog says hello, bow, wow, wow. And we say hello, hi, hi, hi. O sige, children, kayo naman. Ready? Sing. The cow says hello, moo, moo. The horse says hello, neigh, neigh. The dog says hello, bow, wow. And we say hello, hi, hi, hi. Okay, kayo lang. O, kayo lang. Says hello. Ay, nako. Yan. Okay, kunwari po, kumanta na kayo. Very good, children. Ayan.
The dog says hello.
Bow, wow, wow. And we say hi, hi, hi. Very good, children. Very good, children. Ang galing nyo, nakuha niyo agad yung tono. Alright. So, thank you, children. So that will be our song for today. So I want you to settle down. Ayan. Yan, naririnig ko yung boses ko. Thank you for singing with teacher. Alright, so, pwede po tayo, what are the animals, children? What are the animals in our song? Anybody? What animals? What are the animals?
The animals
Yeah.
are cow, horse, and dog.
Yes, cow, horse, and dog. Okay, anybody, what is the sound of the cow?
Moo, moo, moo.
Okay, moo, moo, moo. How about the horse?
Me, me.
All right. And how about the dog?
Bow, wow, wow.
All right. So we will be learning, thank you. We will be learning all of this as we go along go on with our story. So are you ready? Are you ready? Teacher is going to tell you a story. So our story for today is about an animal farm and the one who owns it, and his name is Alex. All right. So at this time, you're gonna show if because if it's still pandemic, you have to show them digital pictures of your story, or you can have your PowerPoint presentation. Pero ako po pinicturean ko kasi para mas madali sa atin. All right, so today's story is about Animal Farm. So children, what animals do you see in the picture? So you can ask your students. Oh yeah, you will see a pig here. What else?
Mm, monkey, dog,
Uh, uh,
cow, chicken,
okay,
mouse,
okay.
giraffe.
Horse yan, horse. Horse po yan, horse.
Ay,
Ayan.
horse.
So we can ask the students, we can ask the students what do we see. And from here, teachers, what we can do is we will be able to know how far or what do they know as of the moment. What do they know about farm animals, or do they know the pictures that do they know what are the names of the animals, how they look like? So from there you can already activate prior knowledge. And then one thing that we can do to activate prior knowledge, we can ask them, children, have you been in a farm? Have you been in a farm?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
if the answer is yes, then you know that they have a prior knowledge. And that's what I'm talking about, metacognitive strategies of activating prior knowledge. And then they already know the different animals here. All right, so I'm going to tell you a story, so just have to listen to teacher. Someone is coming. Who is that? He is Alex. Let's hide. Hurry up. Okay, where are you, everybody? Let's play together. And then we can ask the students, what did the animals do? Where where is everybody? Children, can you see in the picture? Where are the animals? What are they doing?
They are hiding.
Okay, they are hiding. So it has to be interactive with the children. All right. And then this is the first one. Like so this is where you are going to teach them the language already. And one of the key sentence here is, who are you? So who are you? And then bow wow, bow wow wow. And then we can ask the child, who do you think is behind the tree? Children, anybody?
The dog.
The dog. Okay, let's check if it's a dog. Then you can show another picture. Hi, Alex. I'm Snoopy. I'm a dog. Correct. Thank you, Myla. Okay, and then next, who are you? Again, we
The
are
cat.
actually teaching.
Cat.
Okay, the cat. So, sumasagot po kayo. All right. So, hi, Alex. I'm Mimi the cat. So, pwede pong ganito. Kung kaya nang magbasa ng mga bata, they can read it. But kung hindi, pwede din po kayo. So, let's try na nakababasa na yung mga bata. Okay, the next one. Who are you? Clock, 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 clock. Who do you think is behind the cart?
A hen.
Okay, let's check. Oh, can you read it? What did the hen say?
Hi, Alex. I'm Annie. I'm a hen.
Okay, for the other classmates, what's the name of the hen?
Amy.
All right. So, who are you? Moo, moo. Another one's hiding. Who do you think it is?
A cow.
Cow. Let's check. Okay, can you read it? Anne Nicole?
Hi. Hi, Alex. Hindi ko
Anne?
po kita.
I'm Bob.
I'm Bob.
Yeah.
I'm a cow.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, so what are we learning from these teachers? we keep on using who are you, which is very functional for the children, and at the same time they're learning whole language approach, and they are responding in a complete sentence. So next time when you do your activity, you can also ask, who are you, or what is your name, and then you say, I'm Margot, something like that. Okay, so the next is, who are you? Oink oink. Who do you think is hiding there? Yeah, let's check. Yes. So can you read that? Okay. Armando, can you read it?
Hi, Alex. I'm Tim. I'm a pig.
All right. Thank you. Okay. And then so on and so forth, right? So all of the animals, and then up to the mouse, and then for example, natapos na po yung story, and then everybody's here now, let's have fun, let's sing together. That's a good idea. And then they are all singing, and then, children, what are the different sounds of the animals? Can you give me one? Myla.
Bow wow wow.
Okay. Nancy, can you give me one sound? Okay. Armando, can you give me one? All right. Lynn, Andre? Okay. Oink oink. Risa? Risa?
Oink, oink.
Okay. Evelyn?
Moo moo.
Okay. Who else? John Dave? John Dave? What animal are you? Napakamahina. Okay, Louie, Carmina, are you there? Okay, kunwari nasabi niya na, okay. Ano po, si Louie Carmina? Anong animal ka?
Squeak, squeak.
Okay, squeak, squeak. Okay, all of you, since all of you are here, let's try to sing using your sound. Like what you have answered me, all together. Ready? Go. Sabay-sabay kayo, mga students. 1, 2, 3, go.
Squeak, squeak.
Wow! 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 It's a beautiful song. Okay, so that's the end of our story. Thank you, children. Okay, so mas masaya po to kung talagang synchronous yung ating klase, no? So, but that's how you're gonna do it. But for example, you don't want to finish the story in one day, pwede nyo po siyang hati-hatiin. Okay, so that's the first part. So the first part is we sang the song, which is related to here, to this story, and then the next one is okay, children, this time we are going to learn our vocabularies. As I've said, you have to prepare the keywords. So as you can see in the picture, all of these are the words that we actually saw on the story we saw in the story. Okay. So you can have this as your word bank, or you can have this as your list of keywords. So have a list of keywords all coming from the story. Okay, so an example is like this. So let us learn about vocabularies. So you can show pictures. So what do you see in the picture, children?
A farm.
So it's a farm. That is where all those animals live. Okay, and then so what's the next one? So this is a cow. Can you say what's the sound of the cow?
Moo, moo.
Moo.
Right. So in this part, we are learning our vocabularies, in which we are showing them pictures. We are even showing the spelling of how it's being spelled or written. And then we also present to them how or what is the sound of this. Okay, so this is how to learn our vocabularies. And if you want to go complex in this, you can start with saying the cow has 4 legs, and then the hen has 2 legs. So these are the things that you can introduce, but you can present this in this kind of way. Okay, and then next is we are going to learn about the language. So you can use the terms who are you, and then the students will answer like what we did a while ago. All right. So for example, and this time we can use it in a sentence, because when you unlock the vocabs, you also have to use in a sentence. So children, what do you see in the picture? What do you see in the screen?
A cow.
The
Cow. Okay,
cow.
it's okay. Can you say I'm a cow?
I'm a cow.
Okay, I'm a cow. So ibig sabihin po, we are trying to make them learn how to say it, how to express it, and at the same time how to identify it. Okay, next, neigh. Neigh, neigh, I'm a horse. Can you say that?
Nay, nay, I'm a horse.
All right. All right. Okay, and then after that, for example, naubos nyo na po yung lahat ng mga ganyan, no, for the reading and the language. So, which means na konektado po. I hope you're getting what I mean, no, na everything that you are teaching them are connected. Hindi nyo man ni-label, pero you have already taught reading and you have already taught them language. This time, I'm going to teach you how to write. So, for example, bring out your writing modules. Is kunwari po, gumawa ko ng writing modules. At ang itsura po ng ating writing modules ay ganito. Ayan po. Let us learn writing. So you can put, what do you see in the picture?
It's a horse, ma'am.
Yes, it's a horse. So can we try identifying the letters here, or how do we spell horse? It's H O R
O R
S
S E.
Okay, so I want everybody to raise their hands. I want everybody to raise their hands. Okay, and then let us spell it on the air. Horse. Everybody says horse.
Horse.
Okay. And then let us spell in the air. H
H
O
O
R S
S
E.
E.
And then underline it. Horse. Okay, can you do it by yourselves? Paki-open nga camera nyo po. Patingin. Tingin po kung ginagawa nyo. Yan. R, S, E. And then underline it. Horse. Hi, Teacher Nancy. Yan. Very good. Okay, and then, kunwari po, nasa inyo na yung writing modules nyo. So, bring out your writing modules and answer it. So, pwede na po nating pasagutan sa kanila. But again, nakita nyo po, whatever we are answering is again related to what we have read and what we've been singing. Okay po? Malinaw po ba yun, mga ka-teach? Okay. Next. So, kunwari po, natatapos na po ito, no? So, marami kayong isusulat dyan. Kung ano po yung mga nakalagay dito, yan, ito pong vocabs nyo, pwedeng yan din po lahat yung susulatin ninyo. So, what are we trying to establish here is the connection. The connection of the knowledge that you are acquiring. Natutuhan mong isalita, natutuhan mong isulat, matututunan mong gamitin sa sentence, sunod, pwede mong gamitin sa ibang subject, no? So, yun po. So, we have writing, we have language, we have reading. And then next, we can prepare our activity sheets. So, I'm gonna show you, kunwari po, children, okay, bring out your activity sheets. Okay, kunwari may activity sheets na kayo. Okay, can we name the animals below? This is for comprehension check if the children have listened. Okay, what is the first picture, Wisa? What is the first picture? What is this? What is the first picture? On the left side. It's a, dapat po kompletong sentence, ha? It's a duck. And what is the sound of a duck, Wisa? Kunwari, nagsabi siya, kwak, kwak, kwak. Okay. Okay, Nancy, what is the second picture? What is this?
It is a horse.
It is a horse.
It's a
Very
horse.
good. Yes, it's a horse. What is the sound of a horse?
The horse says, neigh, neigh.
Very good. Okay, Armando, what is the next picture? Can you tell me the name of this animal?
It's a pig.
Very good. And what is the sound of a pig?
Poing, poing, poing.
Very good. You are a very cute pig. Okay, how about you, Milo? What is this? What is this? What is the next picture? Ay, sorry. What is the next picture? It's a, for example, you will say it's a hen. It is a hen. So what's the sound of a hen? Okay, baka mahina yung internet. So ganyan po, no? So this is for comprehension check. And then next one is we can incorporate also counting para matouch nyo na rin po yung counting. So in here, on the first picture, Len Andre, are you there? Teacher Lynn, Andre. Okay, halimbawa, siya yung tinawag ko po. And then, you can ask to count. Yeah, can you count the number of animals in the first picture? How many cats do we have?
There are 5 cats.
Okay, can you count them? 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many cats do you have?
5 cats.
All right. So, ganun po, no? So, tuloy-tuloy. Thank you. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Len or Lin? Len? Okay. So, this is also another activity wherein they can draw a line. So, they can classify, they can sort, no? Some like this stuff. Okay. So, this is for your activity and evaluation already, mga teachers. And then another example would be this one. Okay, they can match. So these are enjoyable activities. But at the same time, what I'm trying to tell you is yung connection po nung ating inaaral na hindi nila nararamdaman na nagtuturo kayo ng language, nagtuturo kayo ng reading. Kasi po, minsan po sa mga batang may learning disability, pag narinig pa lang nila na, okay, we will study reading, they're already scared about it because they know that they have a difficulty in reading. But if we will present it in this kind of strategy, then learning might be enjoyable for them. So, another activity po is, this one could be an introduction activity in science or in math. For example, in mathematics, big and small. So we can already use that. Basic concept is of math is big and small, so we can make use of this also. Okay, so children, did you understand our lesson for today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, so would you like to go to a farm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
if there's no more virus out there, we will surely go to the farm. Okay, so thank you very much for today, and I hope that you learned something from this class. Thank you to all my students. Ayan. Okay, so that's the end of my demo. And if you have some questions, you can ask me, yung ating mga estudyante na nandito, my 15 students. And then I just like to recap that if you are going to use this strategy, you have to somehow prepare for this. Medyo matrabaho lang po siya kasi kailangan po lahat ng inyong gagamitin ay um, interconnected or related. Pero once nagawa niyo naman po, mas madali siyang ipaintindi sa mga bata. So, students, meron po ba kayong tanong kay Teacher Margo?
Thank you very much po, Teacher Margo. Our teachers here can give some questions po to ma'am. If you have some, pwede po kayo mag-chat sa ating chat box. And for those watching in our YouTube live, you may also type in your questions in our comment section po. For the meantime, we have a question from our YouTube po. It's from Cynthia Rojas. Ma'am, do you have any
Sige po.
tips po if ever students do not want to recite or to participate kapag po masyadong mahiyain?
Kapag po masyadong ano po?
Kapag masyado pong mahiyain.
Kapag tips for students na ayaw mag-participate, alam niyo po sa panahon ngayon, pwedeng kung ayaw nilang mag-participate orally, dahil po online naman tayo, they can send a picture of their work. And then po, kayo na lang po yung magpakita. Kayo po yung magpakita dun sa mga kaklase that this is the work. For example, I have sent it. This is the work of Margot. O kaya po, pwede po kayong, like kami po, pwede na ginagawa namin is, dahil nahiyain siya sa amin, mahiyain siya sa amin, pero sa bahay hindi siya mahiyain, minsan po pinapa-video namin sa parents. Tapos po, ipi-play namin siya during synchronous classes para po makita ng bata na it's okay to participate, no? Siguro po ang tip ko is kung hindi siya if the child is not not yet willing to participate orally po or real time, no? Pwede pong yung kanyang mga gawa kasi for sure they have their strength eh. So yung ginawa po niya, pwede po natin siyang i-post doon po sa synchronous class or pwede nating ipa-video sa parents, ganyan, para po ma-introduce sa bata na it's okay to show your work, it's okay to participate, ganyan po. O pwede rin po na for the meantime, sasamahan siya ng guardian para lang po maano niya po, unti-unti. Pwede pong ganun. So kung ako yung tatanungin, we can start with them sending some videos or output na parang ipo-portfolio natin, tapos we're going to show it to the class. And then, si teacher muna yung magdi-discuss, oh, this is the work, for example, this is the work of Nancy. You see, she's just very good in drawing. So, I think po, we have to find the different modalities din kasi hindi naman talaga lahat ng bata are orally gifted. Lalo na po kung tulad po niyan, if we are dealing with children who are having problems with expression, hanap po tayo ng ibang way how can they express themselves. So, yun po yung ang aking answer doon, Miss G.
Thank you very much, Teacher Margo. Our next question is from Maricar Papa. Paano naman po ang strategy na marirecommend nyo if we're doing modular learning po?
Okay po. with modular learning, which means na I believe na walang interaction, no? Walang interaction. Ibig sabihin walang synchronous class. Para po sa inyong kaalaman, like in me and my colleagues, we have designed something na sa amin pong mga eskwelahan ay hindi naman po kami nagsisynchronous ng mahaba. Hindi po kami nagta 30 minutes, hindi po kami minsan po 5 to 10 minutes lang yung synchronous classes namin, just for the children to see each other. Kung pwede pong ganun yung gawin ninyo. Tapos kung naka-pure modular po kayo, yun nga po, kami, what we do is we record ourselves. Tulad po ito, meron po akong mga videos ng ganitong strategy, pero naka-video po ako, nagkukwento ako. Parang yung ginawa ko po kanina, nire-record ko po yung sarili ko, every story. Like kasi in our school, we only have 10 themes or 10 thematic units po. Halimbawa, kasi we use thematic instruction po. Parang ganito din po yun. We have 10 thematic units. So I just record 10 demo teaching of those stories and present, pero syempre mas in-depth na version po nung katulad nung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Iniisa-isa ko po yun na nire-record tapos ini-explain ko. Tapos po yun sinesend po namin sa kanila, tapos they can download it and watch it. Kung gusto po natin na mas maintindihan tayo, lalo na po ng mga bata na mas bata pa, kasi alam ko mahirap talaga for preschoolers, grade 1. So ang tips ko po is make it siguro po ma-effort nga lang po mga ka-teach, pero yun po, ako po ang ginagawa ko po ay nire-record ko po yung sarili ko habang nagtuturo. Tapos po gumagawa po ako ng yun po, ng mga activities. Since meron naman na po kayong module, siguro po ang pwede nating magawa, alam ko napakahirap, pero pwede nating magawa para po tayong nagtuturo talaga dun sa videos natin, na para tayong may kausap. Parang ganun po yung pwede kong na strategy sa inyo para po kahit papano may interaction pa rin po dun sa mga bata. Ayun po, Miss G.
Thank you very much, Teacher Margot. We have a question from our participant here in the Zoom meeting po. It's from Sir Armando Jr. Dao. Good afternoon po, ma'am. Ano po ang gagawin kung ang bata ang gusto niya lang ay parating laro ng laro? Yung hindi niya po gagawin ang ipapagawa sa kanya.
Paglaruin na lang. Joke lang po. Yung kasi po, sir, yung laro kasi ng laro, I think that is very natural sa isang bata, no? Lalo na if we're dealing with very young age. Kasi sabi ko nga, ang playing actually ay ang basic occupation ng isang bata. Ang talagang gawain ng bata ay maglaro ng maglaro. Siguro po kung laro siya ng laro, ang mas suggest ko po is yung lesson po natin, medyo haluan po natin siya ng play-based learning, no? So you can read on play-based learning kasi marami kasi talaga naman ang bata papiliin mo ay gagawa ng module o maglalaro. Parang ganun. Syempre maglalaro. So siguro po ang pwede nating magawa is sa mga lessons nga natin, i-incorporate po natin yung playing. Halimbawa po kahit po sa ating mga modules, halimbawa, gawin po natin siyang parang laro. Tulad po ng mga pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, mas maganda sana kung colorful, mas maganda sana kung konti lang, tapos madali nilang maintindihan at para lang talagang naglalaro na hindi talaga kailangan na nandyan yung magulang para turuan siya dahil yun po. Tapos po, yan po, pwede po, ang gawin nyo, instead na lesson agad, yun po, pag story-based tayo, simulan natin sa kanta. Kasi po sa kanta naman, sigurado ang mga bata, mabilis yan matututo. They really get a lot of information from the songs. So, pwede po nating i-adapt tong strategies na to. Kung gusto nila ng laro, gusto nila masaya lang, simulan natin sa kanta at sayaw. Parang laro na rin yun. Yung mga activities po natin, yung presentation ng activities natin, gawin natin parang game, parang puzzle, parang kahit matching siya pero colorful. Kasi pag ganun po yung presentation ng lesson sa kanila, parang laro po yun. Halimbawa po, if they could express themselves ng maayos in terms of drawing or painting, pwede pong ganun yung mga activities natin sa kanila. Baka po kasi minsan, kapag po puro text na po kasi yung pinapagawa sa mga bata, lalo na po kung may mga difficulties yung bata, like may learning difficulties o may delay, hindi po talaga kasi nila gagawin yun eh. So siguro po sir, isang suggestion ko rin sa'yo, yung batang laro ng laro, itry nyo rin pong i-establish kung ano po ba yung present level ng kanyang knowledge para po malaman ninyo kung saan nyo siya sisimulan. Kasi minsan, kaya siya ganun, kasi hindi naman pala niya talaga kaya pong hindi niya po talaga kayang sagutan yung binibigay niyo, kaya laro lang siya ng laro. So we have to establish that na kumbaga po para pong magda-diagnostic test tayo na asan ba talaga tong batang to? Bakit hindi niya ginagawa? Kasi naniniwala po ako na ang bata, kapag nakikinig yan, at nakikinig naman talaga yan, lalo na yung mga bata ngayon, napaka mga kaya mag-multitask, no? Sigurado ko po, pag alam nila yan, sasagutan nila. So, ang punto ko lang po, sir, is there might be a reason bakit po hindi niya ginagawa. Baka po kasi may deficit ng skill. Baka pwede po nating tingnan din yun. Ganun din po sa mga ka-teachers natin, at mga kabibal natin na siguro po kung hindi natin napapasunod agad yung ating mga bata, pwede po nating tingnan muna baka po kasi may underlying factors. Since we are also talking about learning disability, baka po pwede nating tingnan na baka may deficit po kasi ng skill, kaya po ganun. Ayun po. And explore po kayo
Thank
sa
you very much
play-based. Ayan.
po.
Apo. Sorry, teacher.
Okay lang po. Thank you very much po, Teacher Margo. That's all the questions we have for now. Any last reminders to our viewers for today?
Ayun po, siguro po in this time of the new normal nga, we have to, I mean, easier said than done. We have to innovate po talaga mga ka-teach. Ang mabibigay ko pong advice sa inyo is explore nyo po ito, explore nyo po itong metacognitive strategies, explore nyo po ang thematic teaching, explore nyo po ang play-based instruction, at explore nyo po ang developmentally appropriate practices. Sa atin pong mga nagtuturo sa mga batang may difficulties at sa mga younger kids, malaki po yung maitutulong po nito sa atin para po mas maintindihan. Siguro po, para hindi tayo masyado nahihirapan, maganda po talaga na nagpo-profile muna tayo ng mga bata. Alamin po natin ano yung kayang gawin ng ating mga bata. Yun nga po, alamin natin kung ano yung kanilang mga prior knowledge, and from there, we can activate it by planning kung ano po yung mga units of lessons na pwede natin sa kanilang ibigay. I know that this is extra effort and extra mile na gagawin ng mga kaguruan, pero alam ko po na hindi rin naman po tayo basta-basta lang titigil na wala rin pong natututunan yung ating mga estudyante. So I just want to share with you na marami po tayong pwedeng gamiting strategies. At the same time po, halimbawa po ang mga books po ng ating provider ng Vibal ay malaki rin po yung maitutulong sa atin. So with proper materials po and books that we are using, at the same time po yung ating dig into details po ng mga iba't ibang mga mga strategies, yun nga po katulad ng nabanggit ko, yung po ulitin ko, developmentally appropriate practices, thematic instruction, play-based learning po, yan po, pwede nyo po yung i-explore para po makapag-establish kayo ng klase na very engaging. I think it's all about getting the children engaged at this time. So, maraming salamat po sa pag-participate nyo sa klase. I know that it's hard to act as children, and I hope that you have learned something from this sharing today. Thank you, Miss G.
There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this very interactive and insightful demo teaching session. It is an honor to have you with us today, ma'am. And to all our Kavibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. We would like to thank those participants po who joined us today. Our student participants, Miss Ann Nicole Velasco, Sir Amando Jr. Dao, Mr. Christopher Valencia, Miss Elsa Chico, Miss Evelyn Sunico, Miss Len Andre Principe, Ma'am Louie Carmina V. Gisando, Mavi, Ma'am Myla Zabala Balangkit, Ma'am Nancy Gonzalez, Sir Peter Tom Kalyang. Thank you very much po. You'll be able to get a copy of Ma'am's presentation. She will be sending it in our chat box po here in the Zoom meeting. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Bibal Facebook and YouTube channel. Thank you very much mga kabibal.
Maraming salamat po. Ma'am, I'm going to send it na now, no?